How's your book that's been on the Times bestseller list for how many weeks?
Oh, the Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. That's been on the New York Times bestseller list for 67 weeks.
That's pretty intense.
That's a lot for any book, much less for a science book. And so that tells me, while all these Trump books are wafting in and out, this is bobbing like a cork on the ocean waves as the book of the moment that either praises Trump or criticizes him come in and off of that list. So this tells me that there is this unserved hunger that people have. There's a curiosity that this is serving. And it's to Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. That's kind of that's very purposefully juxtaposed. It's like neurosurgery in 4 easy steps. You know, if you saw a book with that title, you'd have to pick it up because you'd wonder what's going on.
Well, not to kiss your ass again, but I always say this about you, and I think it's important. You make learning stuff about astrophysics fun. And that's what's missing. You know, it's not that people don't like to be educated, that they don't like to learn. They just don't want to be bored.
That's a perceptive point because, you know, think of the image we have of, let's say you're in a school where most people don't go to college. You're in high school. And then last day of school comes. What do people do? They toss their papers in the air as they run down the steps. School's out. No. What's the rock song? School's out for...
I go to a big pay-per-view called Survivor Series. Now, the wrestling fans out know what this pay-per-view is. It's November 1996.
There it is.
There it is. Dude. Look at that fucking haircut.
Look at you.
Ray Charles cut my hair back then. I was like,
wow.
So this is Madison Square Garden. 22,000 people. There's Jerry the King Lawler. The guy's a legend. Here's a little bit of, watch this. There we go. Here's a double leapfrog here.
Wow.
Drop kick is coming up. Little punch. So even if you see that punch, it was a little shitty punch anyway. But that was Madison Square Garden. Just sold out. Vince McMahon tells me an hour before I go out, you're going to win the whole thing tonight.
Whoa.
I went, what do you mean? He goes, you're going to win the whole thing. I'm throwing you right into the fire. I'll never forget this. He said, you're either going to fucking sink or you're going to swim. It's New York City. It's up to you.
Give off the illusion of expertise without being checked. Here it goes. Dinosaurs never existed. And by the way,
oh my God, Eric Dubay?
This is the flat Earth guy.
The guy that does 200 proofs the Earth is flat that everybody has debunked fucking 1,000.
No.
Shit.
Shills.
Shills are.
Listen to this guy.
Richard Owen of the Royal Society.
Don't you dare mention Owen's name, you asshole.
Museum Natural History Department in 1842. Or, in other words, the existence of dinosaurs was first speculatively hypothesized by a knighted museum head, coincidentally in the mid-19th century during the heyday of evolutionism, before a single dinosaur fossil had ever been found.
Wrong.
I said, I think I'm done. I'm done with football and the pursuit of it. It's just not in my cards. He said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to get in the business. He went, what business? I said, the wrestling business. Dude, we got in the biggest fucking fight.
Really?
The biggest.
He didn't want you to do it?
He didn't want me to do it. But my old man was a groundbreaker, first black tag team champions in WWE. He was jacked. Pull up my dad if you can. Rocky Johnson. I want to show you.
I know your dad.
Jacked, man.
He was jacked.
He was part of that group in the early 80s, right? Who were like bodybuilding and look at that shot.
What? Dang it. That's the genetics, son.
That's it, brother.
That's where those rock genetics come.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. He was jacked.
So, and we bonded. He used to get me up and take me to the gym when I was 5, sit in the corner, and that's how I get to, really bond my dad. He didn't want me to do it. And we got into the biggest fucking fight. My mom's crying. I'm crying. And he said, what do you think you have to offer? I said, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to fucking suck, but I got to give this a shot. And it got to a place where I said, either you're going to help train me, I'm asking you to help train me, or I'll go to somebody else.
Ever been found?
Wrong. They found
media.
pause that.
Pause every time. Pause.
Dinosaurs. We discovered marine reptiles and the first dinosaurs about a century before that. So that right there, Eric, you're fucking wrong.
Whoops.
It's like, don't bring your flat earth bullshit into my profession. Now I'm pissed.
Well, keep going.
Yeah, keep
defending my title. WrestleMania, 20,000 people start chanting Rocky sucks. So imagine that. You're a kid, 25 years old, you got the belt on you, pressure, you're in there, and the guy who I was wrestling, the Sultan, who was actually my cousin, Rikishi, from my Samoan side, he had me in a rear chin lock. Whole arena's chanting Rocky sucks. He's whispering to me, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Now I'm like, fuck, this is my life now.
Right.
We get out of the match. I go backstage. Vince looks at me and Pat and just says, I don't know what we did wrong, but we have to make a change. I know what that means. 2 days later, I drop the belt to somebody else. Now I'm getting beat every night. And then I get hurt. I tear my PCL, wrestling a guy named Mick Foley. Now, by this time, it's May. Vince says, you take time off, heal your knee. I don't know what we did wrong or where we went wrong, but we got to really figure things out with you. I don't know if this is going to work out.
Oof.
Yeah, man. And this is 1997, summer of 97.
54, Ferdinand van der Veer Hayden, during his exploration of the upper Missouri River, found proof of Owen's theory. A few unidentified teeth he mailed to leading paleontologist Joseph Leidy, who several years later declared them to be from an ancient, extinct Trachodon dinosaur, which, beyond ironic...
So that's because we can do things like look at modern analogs and see how teeth are fucking made. We know if it's a predator or if it's prey. We know if it's an herbivore or a carnivore. We know how teeth are fucking built. Even back then, even when they're doing naturalistic drawings like this, it's like the megalodon tooth on my arm. It is a predator. It's obviously a serrated.
Is it megalodon or megalodon? How do you say it?
It depends. Your emphasis can be on a different syllable.
Okay.
It's both.
It's like, not like nuclear and nuclear?
No, because
in 97, during that time, while I was still going out to LA and working out, we were crossing all the MMA guys. Pride just opened up in Japan. So I was seeing all these MMA guys going over to Pride. You remember that time, right? I think you might have been with UFC at that time, right?
Yeah.
And at that time, I was making $150,000 wrestling 235 days a year. So do the math of that and how much you're making per match. We start hearing, hey, these guys over in Pride are making 250, 350, 500. And I thought then, well, fuck, I don't think I'm going to make it in WWE. People are booing me out of the arenas. I can't be myself. They're telling me to fucking smile. I don't want to fucking smile. It's not who I am. I start talking to Ken Shamrock at that time, who was wrestling with us. I run into Mark Kerr. I start talking to him. He told me a little bit about Pride. And I have this idea in my head. Well, maybe I should train to MMA and go to Pride and make money, real money. And then I don't have to smile. I'm sure I'm going to get fucked up over there and knock one of my lungs loose, but maybe I could do something like that. Find the right coach and train. So I had this whole thing in my head. I was talking to my wife at that time. I said, I think that's the way to go because those guys are paying real money and these fans are booing me over here for $150,000. I get a call from Vince and he says, how's your knee? I said, it's healing up. I don't tell him about this idea after I've talked to Shamrock and Kerr and all these guys. He goes, I want to try and bring you back one time, see how it works out. I want to turn you heel. And we have a faction called the Nation of Domination, who DC loves, by the way. That was his favorite, Daniel. The Black Militant Group. He goes, I want to have you join them, and we'll see how it works out.